we're getting to another stage. These are the actual lids. I've made 3 of them. I've cut them up. Yeah, size wise, let me have a look. We are coming in at 847, and that's about 540. What ends up being down these two sides, these two long sides, I'll put a fold, 90-degree fold, so it actually gives it a bit of a strength on the lid. I've actually marked one out. You can see there, it's all marked out. I think there are 115 centres that way and 95 centres that way. You can see how the marks are actually moved in a bit. That allows for only about a 15-20 mil fold, and those centre lines there and there will line up with these centre lines on this SHS down here, so I can put rib nuts in those SHS square hollow sections. So that's where I'm up to on the next stage. Now I've stacked drilling these. I'm drilling in just a 5mm pilot hole. The sheet is only 0.9 mil. You can actually see here. There is a little bit of variance on the sheet. I noticed when I cut it, I cut one 5mm too narrow than the other two sheets. So I've just evened it up both sides, but I'll go around and I will drill a 5mm hole. And I've got a little bit of timber underneath there, so I can drill through, and I'll just make sure when I drill them, just clamp together, otherwise the swarf gets in between each layer and doesn't make for a good, neat and good job. There you go. I'll just match drill each one of these. You see 3 dots, 3 dots. So each one will live with its own particular one. So 1, 2, 3. You can actually see the fold that I've actually done on the lip, or the double fold. I've got a little bit of play on there, because what ends up being, you've got to allow for a bit of thickness of paint on there. I'll match drill these holes, even it all up, and then drill this 5mm hole through the actual SHS frame underneath, and that'll match each other. So when I put the rib nuts in, everything will line up reasonably perfectly. I will have probably about 2mm clearance holes, so the 6mm bolts will probably have an 8mm hole in this, and we'll go ahead and do all that now. Okay. Right, I've just taken the lid off after match drilling it with the 5mm holes. Now I've drilled it out to 9mm holes, and that's enough to put the rib nuts in. You'll see why I drilled these holes here earlier, and how I marked them to make sure they're actually in the centre of each one of those, because you don't want these rib nuts to line up and collide. Yeah, so I've cleaned all that up. You can see there where I've match marked it with 3 centre punches, and you'll see where I made a mistake earlier, which actually was picked up after the first one. You'll notice this side here has got all the rib nuts in the side. Well, I end up working from one end with that little jig, but because it was done symmetrically, I was able to spin it around. And what I'll do, I won't use the two at this end. Now the whole idea of it, because these rib nuts here will take a little angle bracket coming down and out so far, so a perspex cover will fit in here. They'll fit all the BMS, and the reason why I don't continue these onto the front, because of the shelf, all the cabling's got to go in, and this is the front of the box. So with the rib nuts not being put in here, tells me that's the front and this is the back. I'll do the same thing here with a back cover. We'll go into here, I'll make 3 back covers, and I'll match drill the same as what I've done with the lid, except the back box will be actually 3mm, because I need a bit thicker box, or a bit thicker plate, because The 3mm will actually have a clamp plate. This is where the battery will be clamped together, or the 16 cells or 2 rows of 8s will be clamped, and the bolts will go in here. It'll actually tension up and squeeze the battery up to a set torque. Now I've got the 3 lids made and pre-drilled. It's 1, it's 2, and it's 3 now. Now we're looking at the back plate. And the back plate is made from 3mm gal. You need 3, as in for 3 boxes. We are virtually 500 by 330. It is, so they'll be the same as what the lid is. We'll drill them accordingly, so there'll be an in-between space in between one of those, and they'll actually fit in the end of that. So that's where we got up to today, and we'll continue another day.